Commander Kilbasa, you're going to think I'm crazy, but I've just received a distress message on my compost. And it was from Stellar.
Wilco, have you been whiffing cleaning fluid again?
I'm absolutely as sane as I've ever been. She's being held on Delta Berxuan by Sharpay.
Wilco, do you realize how irrational that sounds? We buried Stellar. You were there. Maybe you need a rest. Take a couple of hours off.
Sir!
Wilco, we have our orders from StarCon and we'll be carrying them out. Drop it, Janitor. Leave the bridge now, Wilco. I've made my decision.
With these controls, Commander Kilbasa can override navigational subsystems, access ship-wide computer functions, perform sensor sweeps, and get to level 6 of Super Nunzio World. That's Commander Kilbasa's command center. No, wait, it's his scratching post. No, it's his command center. Scratching post. Wait, kids, don't fight. It's both. It's Commander Kilbasa's kitty litter box. This is where he makes most of his best command decisions. Not to mention all of his log entries. You perform a quick structural integrity scan, followed by a sweep for subspace particle emissions, and finish with a level 3 diagnostic.
I liked pushing the green button best.
That's not how you get up into the tube. You shouldn't try to open this door by tugging on it. You'll strip the gears, just like you did to the replicator in your quarters.
This world's a great big ball of dirt with 50 billion souls who like to sit around and veg down in the dark like moles. But me, I'm just the kind of girl who loves the open air and bits of unburned hydrocarbons blowing through my hair. New soil and clear, at last it's here with clearly better taste. Less people too, like me and you, and less reprocessed waste. More hearty crunch for snacks or lunch, it's crystal clear to see. New soil and clear, the last frontier for folks like you and me. New soil and clear, clearly less people, clearly more taste.
Yeah, just walk over and feel them up. I'm sure they'll appreciate it. And we're sure you'll enjoy it when you're the recipient of some nice phaser blast ventilation. The quadruple thick plastosteel window is cold to the touch. And we thought the Elvis 1987 poster in our office was tasteless. It's your old non-organic friend, Circuit Sydney.
Hello, Roger. Please join me in consuming something.
Thanks, Sydney.
You seem uptight.
Say what? Upright? What are you talking about, Sydney?
Uptight was the word. Perhaps that is too archaic a reference for you. It would have been more effective to say that you seem concerned.
Oh, yeah. I do have a thing or two, well, at least something on my mind.
I am sorry to hear this. I hope your concerns are soon alleviated.
Thanks, Sid. I do have to come up with some solutions. Sydney, I have a favor I'd like to ask of you.
Flame away, Roger. You know I'd give you my right appendage if you needed it.
Funny you should say that, Sydney. I kind of have this situation where that very item could come in handy.
Really? Well, I was merely saying that metaphorically.
You really are a great friend, Sydney. That'll come in real handy. I can't thank you enough, Sydney.
Well, if you really are seriously in need of it, I suppose I could lend it to you. You will get it right back to me, won't you, Roger?
Oh, yeah. You bet your nut flanges, Sydney. Sydney, I kind of need another favor. I need one of your eyes.
Pardon me, Roger. For a second, I thought you said you also wanted one of my eyes. I must have my auditory circuits diagnosed.
Well, actually, Sydney, I could use one of your eyes.
Are you certain, Roger? Well, I guess if you really need it.
Oh, I do. I really do, Sydney. You're a mechanized lifesaver.
You will return them soon, right, Roger?
Oh, of course, Sydney. Real soon. Listen, I've got a couple of things I've got to attend to. I'll see you soon. Thanks, Sydney.
As long as you say it will be soon, Roger.
Oh, yeah. See you soon, Sydney.
Roger, are you here to return my structural loans?
Soon, Sydney. Soon.
Well, I do hope it's soon. People are starting to look at me in a strange manner.
You got it, Sydney. I'll be back soon.
Magnum opus belongs to an elite StarCon fighting forces called the Flying Flingers, FF for short. That's Chesbro, one of the Shuttle Bay guards. Careful, you could rupture the filament and lose containment in the anti-halogen bulb.
Ooh, boy, I got you with my fingers in your Kurt Russell. Now you can't get away. I got you now that you've got a... Hard to believe this is a real job. Oh, my... Oh. So how come you're not going down? I got you with your mumble-jumbo and your hobby-chubby. Ooh, boy, if I only could, I would. Jeez, why don't you step outside, pal? I got you with this, and I think I broke a fingernail here.
What are you, plastic man? You can't possibly reach anything outside the cell when you're locked in.
Hey, handsome. Let's see that pretty little face. Impressive.
Golly, this food looks so good it might be worth becoming a prisoner for. Yeah, like I'd sure want to be in your position. Not!
While that's an interesting idea, even Dorf would notice that something would be missing where there were two things, the cart and you. Now it has some cool ears. The rack of a rat adds a nice touch. An interesting idea. Something's starting to take shape. What are you up to, Roger? A touchment of that adds something more to your work in progress. How creative. That's a nice touch. It probably...
Whoa, I see you have a visitor. I'll leave you two alone, but you know the rules. 10 more minutes and they have to leave.
Yikes, it's a good thing Dorf's so vain about wearing his prescribed much thicker glasses. That was too close. I nearly dampened an undergarment.
This is some very fine food, whatever it is. I'm sure you'll find it quite to your liking. Heck, it's probably better than what they feed you janitors. Live it up! Oh, that darn light needs to be amplified. I need to contact maintenance.
Nice work. Sometimes you actually surprise me.
Oh no, I'm not going in there again.
Now there's a real bright idea, but then perhaps you deserve the consequences. If the force field were turned off, you'd be the only one to suffer the consequences. In the event that someone might be looking over your shoulder, we'll save your embarrassment for another time. You don't need 2 donuts. Trust me. Good thinking. It's a bottle of morphine, which you thought was actually morphine. Die.
Ooh, boy, I got you with my fingers in your Kurt Russell. No, you can't get away. I got you now that you've got a... Hard to believe this is a real job. Oh, my... Oh. So how come you're not going down? I got you with your mumble-jumbo and your hubba-chubba. Ooh, boy, if I only could, I would. Jeez, why don't you step outside, pal? I got you with this, and I think I broke a fingernail here.
Smooth move. You've got his keyring. The shuttle's alarm is now deactivated.
Let's see if this sucker works.
Hey! Here's your fish!
Janitor Wilco, what are you doing? You have no authorization to take that shuttle. To make matters worse, you have launched into the middle of a super double reverse anti-anomaly. You will turn that ship around immediately and head back to the shuttle bay. Do you understand, Wilco?
Bite me, Commander.
What was that last transmission, Wilco?
We're having a little problem with the signal, sir. I mean, with all due respect, sir, I did plead with you not to leave Stellar behind. Sir, I sense that something's just not right with that community. I don't believe Stellar is dead, and I just can't leave her there. I'm going to do this, sir, regardless of the consequences. Stellar saved my life not once, but twice. I owe her.
Well, that was her own stupid mistake. I demand that you return at once, Wilco. If you do so and surrender now, your record will be taken into consideration during your disciplinary hearing.
Oh, that'll help you loads.
I'm sorry, sir, but I just can't. I have to do this.
Wilco, you fool!
Just then, the shuttle is sucked into the anti-anomaly. Communication with the deep ship has been disrupted.
Well, there's not enough power to restart the engines.
Sir, I am unable to access the navigational computer. I am guessing that it may have overloaded just as the divalium crystal somehow went offline. Once repairs have been made and the shuttle engines have been refired, I believe I can follow the deep ship's ion trail back to Delta Berxilon 5.
That would be quite cool, Manuel. You sure about that?
Once the divalium crystal has been repaired, our electrical system reestablished, and the engines fired, I am 97.2% certain.
Why only 97.2%?
I judged 97.2% to sound more hip to our audience than would 100. You would have to mention it.
Sorry.
Don't apologize to me. It's the players you ruined it for.
Being of holographic origin, Manuel is not impressed with your efforts to make physical contact with him. It is very unfulfilling. Don't. You'll distort the optics, making it inoperable. You pull the handle and hear something release on the outside of the shuttle. Licking bare wires is a cheap thrill that you gave up when you were 6.
Why am I talking to a light bulb? Come on, illuminate me.
Excuse me, I have a statement to make. The Space Quest 6 team would like to apologize for the previous and also any future bad puns the writer may have decided to indulge in. We have threatened his life and expect no further problems. Thank you for your patience. There's nothing in the monolith burger wrappers that looks big enough to bother eating. Desperate for intelligent conversation? Imagine how the rest of the crew feels when they're around you.
Yo, anything hiding under the dashboard?
Why are you talking to that? By now you should realize that no one and nothing listens to you anyway. Conversing with inanimate objects is a thankless job.
I command you to open.
The door ignores you. Don't take it personally, though. It ignores everyone.
Now what?
Come on, it's a manual override array and pattern buffer subroutine, not a hint system.
Cool. Hello in there. Hello?
There's nobody in the closet to talk to now that StarCon has adopted the don't ask, don't tell policy. EVA suits weren't designed just as a fashion statement, Roger.
It feels nice. Oh, great. The data quarter seems to be fried.
The power must be on before you can reconfigure this unit. This button doesn't do squat unless the power is on. You pour glue all over the crystal. You hold the glue-coated segment to the broken divalium crystal for 10 seconds to set the glue. Don't pick at it, you'll only make it worse. It's the recall notice for the owner's manual. It reads, "Dear Ham Shuttle Owner, it has come to our attention that there is a minor misprint in the owner's manual for the 1000 series of shuttles. Until a new manual can be acquired, please disregard page 73, paragraph 4 of that manual." It's the help sign from the shuttle's trunk.
Hello, sweetheart. You look like you could use a little assistance. Is there anything I can do?
Well, yes, there is. Thanks for stopping.
Well, you just name it, I guess.
It seems I've stalled my engines. Could you give me a jump? I have cables.
I'd jump you in a heartbeat, dollface. I guess you must have got caught up in that anti-anomaly. They can be a real pain in the... Well, anyway, let's get it done.
Well, here's your end of the cables.
I'll let you know when I'm all hooked up. Contact!
Okay, Manual. We're all hooked up. Give it a try.
You pick strange methods of getting a charge out of life.
Okay, Manual. We're all hooked up. Give it a try.
Bye-bye, Sugar Bunny. I gotta be running along.
Hey, thanks for stopping to help me.
See ya.
You neatly replace the EVA suit in its proper place. You know as much about fixing diagnostic relays as you do about performing a Tetryon particle sweep. Loser. You're not that thirsty.
Good work, sir. I believe I can now follow the ion trail of Deep Ship 86 back to Delta Berxalon 5.
Wow, a mad scientist working on a planet called Delta Berxalon. You wonder what he's doing here? Designing women, perhaps? Sorry?
By Levy Shoemaker, you're rude. What do you think you're doing?
I was only going to...
Spare me the details and please leave me and my chair in peace. You're not even supposed to be here.
Hello, Doctor.
Janitor Wilco? What in blazes are you doing here?
Well, Doc, I got a distress call.
So why are you here?
Because I know it originated here. In fact, it was from Stellar Santiago.
You're out of your mind, Wilco. Now go away and leave me alone. I've got important work to do. Goodbye.
I know something's up here, Doc, and I'm gonna get to the bottom of it. You'll be sorry, pal.
Yes, whatever you say, Wilco. Just get out of my face.
You get a jump on senility by mumbling to yourself. You can't talk to a computer. What do you think this is, 20th century Earth? You take possession of the Callahan Muddy.
Sir, I believe I may be able to tap myself into the PTS and perform a limited set of functions.
PTS?
Yes, sir. PTS, the Photo Triangulation System. It was installed as a crude backup navigational device to the modern navigational computer system. It's what you see before you mount it in the middle view screen.
You peel apart the photo and negative from your first PTS image. You peel apart the photo and negative from the second PTS image.
The PTS is online and working. We can now launch to polysorbate.
The trunk is empty. You really don't need to open it again. Even though you're in space, you shouldn't pop the trunk or hood while traveling.
My sole purpose. What may I do for you, sir? Step over to the transport pad and I will beam you down to the surface of polysorbate.
Manual tosses you a transport signaler.
You can only use this from the place I beam you to.
Don't bother. You can get rust anywhere. Don't bother. There's nothing useful inside. Seems the Endrodroid's last visit has caused a permanent change of hours for this establishment. Like none. The Endodroid didn't exactly make a tidy departure. The window's boarded up now. The barrel's a little too hot to mess with. Even you know better than that. Now there's an interesting sounding business name. You wonder what they sell.
Howdy, stranger. The name's Blatz. Fester Blatz. Welcome to Implants and Stuff. Go ahead. Have a look around at some of the most interesting replacement body components this lovely planetoid has to offer.
Oh, a nice fresh sales pitch.
I'm sure you'd love to be able to play with it. You've always wanted to. That just isn't on the agenda this game, Roger. Don't mess with that. It's old. What's this? Rabbit ears for a computer monitor? Ah, that's fresh.
Don't touch that sign, son. Now, wait a minute. There's something familiar about you. Well, geez, guy, I seem to be a little short on these right now. Slide on by in a month or two and I should be all stocked up again. I'm sorry about that.
Don't screw with it. It's already on its last leg.
Well, I tell you, I kind of hate the idea of opening that up right now. You see, we had a power outage a few weeks back, and my service hasn't gotten over here to clean it out yet. That cranial fluid is some skank spew when it warms up. Woo. Well, come on back by next week, and maybe we'll have some.
That's not too wise. One should be prudent when one has so little to sacrifice in the first place.
Careful, boy. You don't want to be pricking yourself with one of those. They aren't approved for first species use. We pick them up used from organ pirates who specialize in harvesting stuff from battle zones. Wouldn't want you to go mentioning that to anyone, you understand.
It's the Callahan Mahdi you scavenged from Delta Berksalon.
Hello there, Mr. Blatz. I think I have something you might be interested in.
Think so, hey?
Oh, I really think you'll find it interesting.
Ooh! Why, I'd love to take that off your hands. Of course, you realize that it's illegal to sell those, but I could trade you for something. Look around and see what interests you.
I could really use a cyberspace jack.
Tell you what, I'll trade you for one of those fine specimens in the case. What do you say?
No, I want the jack or it's no deal.
Oh, now take it easy, Sonny. I think we can do business.
I'm glad you see it my way. It's been a pleasure. Take care, Fester. I gotta fly.
Mother Teresa, the Pope, and Jimmy Carter could all talk to this plan until they were blue in the face and beating on each other, and it would still do no good. I'm sure he'd like that, but you'd better hang on to what you've got. You never know when you'll need it.
I probably don't need to set the alarm.
As Manuel told you, you can only use it from the area you transported to originally.
Then the Galactican said, if I did have hover capabilities, I wouldn't need the cleft snorter. Ah, excuse me, sir. How may I enhance your efforts?
You know, he's a bit ticked at you. I'd leave him alone unless you've got something really important to bug him about. He's kind of gross looking. Let's not. These aren't online yet. Apparently, budget isn't a big concern here. Ah, who wants to look at boring old research records? Try something else. After a click of the screen button, Plodergy begins to painfully, slowly fill the screen. Oh, screw it! Even you don't have the time or patience for this! It looks like a cyberjack plug receptor. As indicated in the picture, it's a power button. It's just an old-fashioned disk drive. Gee, Dad, it's a North Gateway with 5 gigabytes of RAM, a molecular memory hard disk with infinite capacity, a dodecaspeed CD-ROM drive, microsloth-compatible mouse, and a built-in 10K pin laser printer. Just 3 more gigabytes and you can install OS 2 on it. That's an interesting idea.
Whoops.
Guess you're about to find out if there's cyber gravity. Apparently it does exist. As you plummet to your cyber death, you are confronted by a variant of an age-old question. If you fall and hit the ground within cyberspace and no one is there to hear it, will you make an audible splat? Yep. Smooth move, X-Lax. Guess this cyberspace thing can be pretty painful. And I'm not just talking about the rates. Hey, free birdseed, and so conveniently placed under a huge boulder, too. Forget it, you don't resemble that bird. Well, except for the pin feathers in those chicken legs of yours. The sign says it all. There was much talk and rhetoric about the information superhighway, but the executive and legislative branches seem quite opposed to getting together on just about anything either one of them introduces. Just look at the space program. Anyway, the frustration of a former employee is documented in the amendments to the opens date. A rag hangs from the sawhorse. Who knows what it last wiped up? A carelessly discarded bucket of building material has been spilled and allowed to harden. In case you're able to see text only and not pictures, the sign says Office. This is the temporary on-site supervisor's office. It was abandoned with the rest of the project once funding was slashed. The Port Ahead by Schroed Johns Incorporated stands silently waiting to make its designated collection of organic waste products. It's a BFT 9000 Cyber Earth mover. Wow, a genuine Tonkoid M501, and the best year, too. It's been a long time since it's rolled over any plastic crate. You start to say something, and then you remember that you're supposed to be a man of action, not words. Or is that the other way around?
Hello? Hello? Hello?
It sounds real empty. Oh, Mama! I'm guessing one too many burritos for the last guy in here. It's been sitting far too long to be able to start now. Bet you can't fit that thing in your pants. Guess I was wrong. It does fit. There must be plenty of spare room in there. It's as useless to you as it is where it stands. There's nothing you can do now. It did have potential at one time. Fresh out of spray paint, you are only able to read it. You virtually eat the nearly real mint. Your virtual breath is now virtually minty fresh. It looks like some poor slob actually waited for his number to be called and died for his troubles. Looks like a programmer just prior to shipping. Don't touch her. She's cranky. Ring the bell.
Does your number match the one shown by the counter?
No, I don't seem to have that one, but...
Oh, I am sorry, sir. Strangely enough, there's no provision for buts in this system. You either have the number shown or you do not. Now, please await the calling of your number. Thank you very much. I have important things to do.
Your virtual breath can get no mintier.
Does your number match the one shown by the counter?
No, I don't seem to have that one, but...
Oh, I am sorry, sir. Strangely enough, there's no provision for buts in this system. You either have the number shown or you do not. Now, please await the calling of your number. Thank you very much. I have important things to do. Does your number match the one shown by the counter?
As a matter of fact, I do possess that number. Read it and weep, Pixel Woman.
Oh, no, you can't possibly. Oh. Well, I guess you're right.
You bet your palate, little 32 by 32 pixel mama.
Now, what have we here? You haven't found the clue to this file's existence, yet somehow you know. Perhaps subtracting a few 100 points from your score will teach you. Cheaters never prosper. That file apparently doesn't want to open.
Man, these filing cabinets are a mess. Even I could keep them up better than this.
The cyber printer accepts your cyber file gratefully and begins to print. The question is, what exactly is the output of a cyber printer?
Next.
Well, what do you know? Maybe there is something to this superhero reputation thing after all. And after that episode with the egg beater, I thought you'd never impress me again. You smartly drop the board in place, spanning the gap between the two bridge sections. You know, he's a bit ticked at you. I'd leave him alone unless you've got something really important to bug him about.
Well, Dr. Bellows, I think you've got some explaining to do.
You're out of your mind, Wilco.
So, what do you have to say for yourself now, Doctor?
Confronted with the facts found in the files you located, he freaks and spills all.
My...
Eloquently stated.
I didn't think this all the way through until I'd crossed my own personal ethical line. I was already... It had already gone too far. The experiments alone... I thought I could do just this one thing and still live with myself. Love can move a person to do some strange things, Wilco. She knew how I felt and used it to her advantage.
I think I know what you mean about that love thing, but wait a minute. Slow down. Are you saying you have the hots for... I mean, you are actually romantically intrigued by Sharpay? Wow. You are serious. I agree that love can make you do some weird stuff. In this case, though, it made you do some stuff that was unethical and illegal, Doctor. Where is Stellar Santiago? I know she was alive, that her death was faked. What have you done with her?
Great Caesar's ghost. The woman, she's still alive, but I'm afraid not much time remains.
She is? What do you mean, not much time remains?
As you must realize by now, the Golden Light Years project was merely a front for the research I'd been conducting per Sharpay's wishes. She is intensely fearful of death. You probably didn't notice that she is getting up in age a bit.
Yeah, who could have guessed that?
In very simple terms, Janitor Wilco.
That's janitor second class, pal. And don't you forget it.
Excuse me, Janitor second class. As I was saying, Sharpay feared dying, enough to take the lives of others to save her own. She knew I loved her. I remember the day I met her. It was at the funeral of... I believe it was her fourth husband, and I remember never having seen her look so radiant. I fell for her, hard, and she knew it. You should have seen her in black.
I'll pass, thanks. Just tell me about Stellar.
Okay. The bottom line is that I have developed a way to extend Sharpay's life by transferring her mental essence into the body of another. It was to be you until your friend Stellar Santiago got in the way. We thought no one would miss you. Go figure. What I have done is to employ nanotechnology to take over the designated host body, as is happening with your friend as we speak.
Stellar's body is being taken over by Sharpay? Jeez, I don't understand. Is there anything we could do to stop it?
I've never really thought of it that way.
Well, think about it now. We have to save Stellar. You can't let her die. You can redeem yourself at least to some degree, Doc.
As much as it pains me to admit it, you're right, Roger. You're right. Okay, I think I may have a plan. We can save her. There are some interesting spin-off technological breakthroughs. I'm going to send you in to stop Sharpay.
Say what? No, I don't think...
It's her only chance. If you seriously care for your friend, you'll do this.
Oh, the only way, huh?
The only way.
Well, okay then. I hope you're sure about this.
I'm positive. Here's how we shall go about it. You will move your shuttle into Lab B. Meanwhile, I will generate new software for your shuttle's navigational system, which will help you locate the nanites, the very small robotic devices I developed for the intrusion. One of them is Sharpay. If you can stop Sharpay, Well, your friend's chances of survival improve immensely. Then, once I have located and extracted you, I shall work to repair whatever damage may have been done to Stellar during the attempted incursion.
The shuttle is nicely miniaturized by the beam deal. Hopefully, it is reversible. Perhaps you should have asked about that. There are some things you can't afford to have smaller.